Watercooler, Watercooler, Watercooler. Big meaty laws.
Hello and welcome to Watercooler, episode 313, also known as 69 plus 69 plus 69 plus 37.
I think you missed a 69 there. There's four of those
Plus
bangers.
69.
There you go.
I thought I read them all.
You just made it up.
Yeah, well, this isn't my job. I don't normally do this. I am not Chris Laxamana. I am Gary Smith, and with me today, my good friend Matt Fondelier,
Hey, brother.
and my other good friend and returning Watercooler co-host, real Nick Davis.
Go, Pack, go.
Go, Pack, go. Nick, how
Wait
you
a minute,
doing,
wait a
bro?
minute. You told me this was our Christmas episode. I thought Saint Nick was coming.
Oh,
We have fucking Nick Davis here?
yeah.
Oh, great.
I just told you, Nick, you made the assumption on the Saint thing.
Everything's perspective because I feel like in general he'd be excited, but now like thinking it was Santa that was going to be here instead of me, that's going to be a downgrade. You fucked me, Gary.
Yeah, if you had told me it was Dylan and then Nick showed up, I'd be fucking thrilled, you know? It'd be amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
For a split second, I was like, do you guys want me to invite Dylan too? And then I was like, I'm not going to ask that.
Well, all I'm going to say is I know how a group chat works. I could have blown in that text to a group if I had felt like it.
Fair enough. 313, though. For a long time after I was on the show, I was like, oh, I was on more episodes than there has been. Now that you guys are doing 2 a week.
I know.
Oh, we're not, that number, by the way, does not include our Patreon number.
Oh, it doesn't?
It does not. We're actually
We have a different
beyond.
numbering system because everything's based on 69s, so we couldn't fold it in. We have to, we're around show 75 or 76 on Patreon.
It's a thing people don't think about when they think about making podcasts, because we started Patreon and like the numbering, and I now want to go and revert back because we weren't counting them for the free ones or whatever, so they went in order or whatever, but now I wish they skipped and people were like, what's the one I'm missing?
Yeah.
But you guys aren't doing that.
No.
Nope.
We started with individual numbering because Patreon show number 1 was just kind of where we started. Now, this might be a little bit too inside baseball, but this is what we all do for a living, so we're going there. Remember when Apple decided that they were going to try to make it against the rules to have your episodes numbered?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that lasted all of about 5 minutes, and the whole podcasting community went, fuck you, that's how we do this. And they were like, oh, okay, no doubt, that's cool.
Yeah, stern emails sent that your podcast would be removed if you have numbers in your title.
They were throwing threats around the podcast community, and all the creators just kind of went, nah, we're not doing that. So
I do remember the email that said, never mind.
Yeah, JKLOL, basically.
It was a good day. It was just like this past weekend when YouTube and Disney were at war, and I was going to lose all the Disney channels for my YouTube TV. And then 2 days later, it's okay.
Yeah, I told my wife on
time.
Thursday that she would be losing. I think FX was the only one she cared about because they have the movies. Better joke than I got credit for.
I try to block out that ad
But
campaign.
I just told her.
I black out all ad campaigns, and I watch them too. Like I watch football, but yeah, I didn't. That's what they say. FX, we've got the movies.
Has the movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
It's real rough. They've been
Solid
rolling
joke.
that one
Great
way
poll,
too long.
actually.
Thanks,
I'm
bro.
sorry.
Appreciate it. No, the best ones usually need to be explained and talked about for about 90 seconds.
Oh,
No,
you're telling me.
I told my wife about that conflict, and I told her we're not going to do anything, and by the end of the weekend, it'll all be back. And sure enough, because that happens every time.
It does. But this was the first time they actually took it off for a couple days. But I literally think they knew it had to be before the week started because there's the Bachelorette finale and there's also Monday Night Football. And, like, those are two things that people will kill over.
Sure.
Right. Absolutely. And, yep, go for it.
I don't like the claw.
Is he talking about seltzers?
No, he was
Thank
talking
God.
about something else, but we have an enterprising young man to my left who clipped that out.
I have this weird thing where anytime I'm watching something and they say the word claw, I immediately think, can this be used for the show? And let me just tell you, there are a lot of things on the clotting room floor. I did not bring them all in. So.
Well, there's a lot of things in someone's house in Oakland as well because we lost all the Kawhi drops when Chris's car got broken into. Did you hear about this?
It was a
Chris
sad day.
went to Bottle Rock to watch one of his good friends perform and just enjoy the festival. And his friend who had just finished performing was like, oh, you guys are leaving? Like, I'll drive you back to the airport. And they were running a little early, so they stopped in Oakland for 40 minutes to get a beer, and somebody smashed in the back window of this woman's car and stole all of Chris's shit. Now, I have a question for you because you know Chris Laxamana very well. Would you have believed that Chris does not back up anything digital in his life? He had zero backup. So his computer got stolen. He went back to zero.
Yeah, I'm surprised it's not here. Like, backed up here on the ACS one.
I know.
That does surprise me.
It's crazy, right?
That's fortunate.
He got a replacement laptop, and then Adam spilled whiskey all over it twice.
Adam dumped a cocktail onto his keyboard. He picked it up, turned it over, and let all drip out. This computer was about 2 weeks old at the time. He put it back down on the desk, turned around to do something, and Adam, who to his credit was shit-faced out of his mind, took one of those Capri Sun-style pouches with a whiskey mixed cocktail in it and laid it down on his keyboard.
Not intentionally.
Not
though.
intentionally.
The first one wasn't either, right?
No, they were both. He was in the middle of a show
Chris.
that was sponsored by a whiskey tasting company. So he had been tasting whiskey for about an hour at this point. He was just having a good time, and he just misplaced a drink. And to make matters worse, Bald Brian was watching the whole thing and just laughing at Chris in his face.
By the way, where is Chris? I threw us all off with my stupid Santa
Oh
joke.
yeah, Chris got the Covey Wovey.
Chris got the vid?
He's got the vid, baby. That V
Dang.
card ain't saving him.
Dang.
Chris has been talking about how he has to present his COVID V card.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I also have my COVID V card because I have never been tested.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah.
How about that?
Well, Chris got the positive sign this morning on the drive in.
Yeah, I actually had two people in my life test positive for COVID this morning. The other one is my sister, and she is very sick, so it sounds like probably Delta. And Chris is not sick at all, so it sounds like probably Omicron. At least that is what I'm hearing from our own Dr. Drew, who has been checking on me all day.
I feel like as a public, we've been fed such a binary view of, oh, you have Delta or Omicron. Not that there's a million different things
True.
in between
Yeah.
that people, oh, I don't have some. It's, I don't know. It's just.
You can only take so much information.
Yeah.
Well, Chris will be back soon. He may not make it for Patreon this week, but he'll be on the next week.
I just want the people to know that we talked about this off air. Otherwise, I'd be more concerned. How is he?
Yeah.
I know he's doing well, and he was
Where's
symptomless.
Dawson? Where's Dawson?
Dawson had a lot of shit to do.
Yeah.
So he rolled in about 11:45 or 12 today, sticks his head in my door. He's like, "Do you hear Chris got COVID?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." He was, "Well, I'm busy as shit, so I'm not staying. So you and Matt have fun." And that was when I started freaking out because as I texted Matt, no matter how much I may love you, I don't know if the two of us talking is Watercooler. I just don't think it works.
I think that you guys could definitely pull it off, and you're selling yourself short because, like, the whole thing's about the hangout with all the guys that are doing it, and then when you guys are gone, it's how you two interact, and I think people would get a kick out of it.
I think we probably could have pulled it off, but I was starting to feel a little self-conscious about that. That's a lot of time to keep it going. You know, we talk so much as it is. Matt and I spend several hours a day talking basically to each other.
I love Barstool's The Yak. It's like it used to be on when they had a serious show, they would do 1 hour live show, but it's five or six regulars, but like
So Watercooler.
huh? Yeah. And
Barstool has been known to copy our stuff.
yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Do you have proof?
I don't know. I'm trying to go with a bit, but I also don't want Barstool not to like me. I've become a stoolie.
Nice.
I'm like a fan. Like I don't know. I really like Barstool.
I am too. We're mostly joking about the phenomenon of we will talk about something on this show, and then within the next few days, it will be a poll on their website, or they'll tweet about the exact same phenomenon. So we just have this conspiracy theory that they're fans of us.
It happens, you know, because like people are just listening.
I listen to a bunch of stuff. I mean,
Watercooler is a great program. I check in every once in a while, but
get that drop.
Yeah.
But your Facebook group is popping. I love that group.
Oh, yeah. It's amazing. And I got to say, during the holidays, it's been no exception. A lot of action going on.
Well, should we just get into some comments in that
Oh, yeah,
case?
let's
I mean,
do
if
it.
we're going to talk about it, let's do it.
Now it's time for listener
All right. And you can join our Facebook group by going to facebook.com/groups/BoboBoyArmy Worldwide LLC. Apply, answer a few questions. That part's important, and we'll probably let you in. All right. First one this week comes from Caitlin Cameron. It says, listening to this week's Chez Fond-du-Lait sparked a memory that I was nearly named Wintergreen, Grene, until my dad stepped in with Caitlin after Dylan Thomas's wives. What were some almost crazy names your parents came up with for you? Well, I'll let you guys think it over. I know my name, if I was going to be a girl, was going to be Shelby, Sydney, like the Australian city. And the reason I know that is because when I was 12, my parents got me a dog and named her Shelby or Sydney and told me that story.
Wow.
Yeah, so my name went to a dog.
Nick, were you ever told, we wish you were a girl, and this is what we would have called you?
No, I don't have any memories of that, but I'm pretty sure my name's Nick because of the proximity to Christmas.
Is it?
I think.
Really pulling it back around.
Huh?
You know what? Maybe we did have St. Nick on our show after all, Gary.
It's the day after Christmas.
I was going to
Is
say.
that your birthday?
I was
The day
about to
after
ask for
Christmas?
this today.
Wow.
Happy early birthday.
Yeah, I was going to try to say something like that, but I didn't earlier. Like, it crossed my mind, but
Sure.
we came full circle anyway, so good
How
job.
does it feel having a birthday the day after Christmas?
Sucks.
It's made... I've never been like a big birthday guy, but now it's probably because it was close to Christmas. So it's like chicken and the egg sort of thing. So I think that's the effect it had. And I don't know, around that time's always fun anyways. Everybody's home. So like,
Yeah.
there's usually people there for my birthday and shit too. And we'll go out to dinner or whatever. But yeah, lots of that, 2 presents from the distant relatives or whatever, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've never really enjoyed my birthday being around the holidays. It's just a pain in the ass.
Yeah, dude. Mine too. It's right near Labor Day. It's like every year people are like, oh, we're so tired from Labor Day. And I'm like, it's my birthday. But they're like, we don't care anymore.
Hanging out with some real assholes, Matt.
Any almost names, Matt?
I was told that if I was to be a girl, then my name was going to be Victoria, which I don't know where that comes from. There's absolutely no British lineage in my family.
That's weird that they went with Rebecca then when your sister actually
Isn't that
was born.
strange?
That's
Yeah.
like usually you'd want to go to that first girl name you had
Yeah,
chambered.
exactly.
Did your parents watch Young and the Restless?
Great question. I have never asked. I don't remember that on as a kid. It's entirely possible.
Phenomenal question.
Victoria Newman is on that. She was named after her father, Victor. And,
Okay.
And
Hold on. Let me write this down.
her brother, Nick, was named after the mother, Nikki. So it was Nikki and Victor and Victoria and Nick. Isn't that crazy, guys?
Wild. I was also...
Is that what I get if I go to the Another Podcast Network?
A little bit of that.
All right. I'm not saying I dislike it.
I was also told that my middle name, William, was going to be my first name, and Matthew was going to be my middle name, and for some reason they swapped it at the last minute.
Will Matt Fondelier?
Matt Will Fondelier. It's much more confident now.
Yeah. It's less of a question.
It's a statement.
Yeah, right.
I love it.
Some would say it's an aggressive statement.
Coin-
Hey, I forgot to ask. Do you have a Chez Fondelay?
Yeah, dude.
All right.
Nice. Coincidentally, that person's someone was named after Dylan Thomas's wives.
Yeah.
Dylan Wren, my co-host and former employee of Adam Carolla's show, is named after Dylan Thomas.
Also the winner
Wow.
of the Hunger Dome.
That's true.
Wow.
Yeah. Dylan won the first season of the Hunger Dome.
Oh, I thought Dylan Thomas won.
No, Dylan Wren. Dylan Wren won the made-up thing where we had a bunch of celebrities fight to the death in a dome.
I know. I thought Dylan Thomas was a celebrity that won in the dome.
Oh, no. That would have been pretty great.
It's even weirder than that, dude.
Oh, God. All right. Jeffrey Lee says, anyone else able to fall asleep in a dentist chair? I thought I was the only one until I heard Chris chime in. I've fallen asleep in the dentist chair before.
See, I was confused by this because I've tried and could absolutely fall asleep in the dentist chair, but the dentist or the assistant always wakes me up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. You go ahead and do what you have to do. My mouth is in a wire trap or whatever. Like, let me sleep. But they don't like that. So
well, there's
these
got to be concerned that you're going to have a dream and close your mouth or something.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I get it.
Yeah, I
but
don't know.
these people are saying that they do fall asleep while the dentist is working on them.
I've fallen asleep while a dentist was working on me. Yes.
I mean, sometimes they make you pass out. That's not
Sure.
Well,
I think they meant
that's
without the
different.
drugs.
I think they mean just you're sitting there for a cleaning, totally sober. You have your mouth open, and you can just allow yourself to go to sleep.
I get it, but that surprises me that they would have a problem with that when sometimes they work on it, even though it's intentional, when someone's passed
That's
out.
why I was
Yeah, that
confused,
makes
too.
sense. All right. Well,
Yeah, that's a really good point, Nick.
there you go, Jeffrey
Next
Lee.
time I'm going to do that. When they try to shake me, I'm going to be like, you drug people. You let me sleep, sir.
You're like, then I would request some nitrous oxide then?
Yeah, exactly. Can you give me nitrous oxide? Then you would be totally fine with me sleeping right now.
I've never had nitrous oxide, and all I want to do is be as fucked up as those people in those videos.
All right, well, let me tell you, Nick, because I only have one time, and I was a very small child. I was probably 9 years old. And they had, at the time, this, like, an early virtual reality headset where they strapped this thing on my face, and it was like a movie was playing. And I had several hits of nitrous oxide as like a 9-year-old, and the film Rookie of the Year, which I don't know if you remember that classic.
And you were the Rookie of the Year?
I became the Rookie of the Year. It was one, I mean, still to this day, I remember what a trippy experience that was.
That's the metaverse I want.
Yeah.
Rookie of the Year.
Metaverse.
Nice. Has that been said before?
Nope.
Dude, I started...
Metaverse? I like that. That's pretty good. Wait, how does this tie into Rookie of the Year? I shouldn't have left at that moment.
That's okay. You got me a claw, though, to make up for it, right?
When he was 9 years old... I started grinning.
I should have whistled at him. That's what Gary does. When I leave the room, he fucking whistles at me.
Did you hear that?
I did.
When you were telling me that story, I just started grinning because I was like, "This would be like what it would be like if it was our morning radio show." It seems like one, two.
Matt and Nick in the morning.
Welcome to the metaverse.
All right, bring me back in on Rookie
I was
of the Year.
telling him that when I was like 9 years old, dental surgery, they had me do nitrous oxide, and they strapped like this headset on me that was playing Rookie of the Year. And as Nick pointed
That
out,
sounds like-
I became the Rookie of the Year.
That's fucking amazing.
It really was. And to this day, I'm like, wow, they did that to a 9-year-old.
Did you know the director of that movie is also the actor who plays the hitting coach, the quirky, like, out of control,
Wow.
like, weird coach that gets stuck in between the door like this? And
Daniel Stern?
I don't think that's his name.
Okay. Well, anyway, that's really cool.
Yeah. Or maybe I have that story wrong. Someone check it out. Let's see here. Gary Smith said, today, Nick Davis makes his triumphant return to the water cooler. Have a question for Nick? Drop it in the comments, and we'll get to as many as we can. Go, Pack, go.
Are we going to be able to get to all of them?
Yeah.
I don't think we have enough time.
Yeah. It wasn't a banger.
I feel like it was just an odd time. People are getting a lot of work done before they leave for the holidays.
definitely why.
I legitimately think there's some fuckery with the Facebook group in my account, because I used to have like a button on like the side view where I could go into that group as an admin, and it's gone. I'm still an admin, but I have to type the URL of the group every time I want to go to it.
You gotten shadow banned from
I
your
think
own
I have,
group?
from my own group where we talk about farts and claws. Who knew? Zach Jones says, hey, Nick, how's it going?
Oh, it's going really pretty well. Zach, how are you?
All right. He can't answer because he's a piece of paper. Dick Morales says, surf and turf or lasagna? That's a fair question that has been bandied about in our Patreon.
Oh no.
Oh, it's all happening in slow
JV.
motion.
Oh, my goodness.
We're okay.
While Gary gets... Oh, the whole studio's falling apart right now. Nick, can you actually answer the question while you're doing this? Because this is what would happen on our radio show, Nick. Weird things would happen, and then we'd have to keep the show going and pretend like it's all part of the show.
I just want everybody to just breathe. We're fine. This was minimal damage from what it could have been.
Yes.
And
Well,
so
you're very right, Nick, because this is my brand new computer that I just got after 6 years, and if it had gone to that, we would have had fisticuffs in that
With
studio.
the irony after talking about Chris's laptop.
I mean, that's as wild as me getting on your car. Your laptop is so far away at the moment.
Yeah.
We could throw out a lot of hypotheticals. That would be bad.
But
right,
let's
we
go
got-
back to the question at hand, which is...
Yes. So I've never at a restaurant had surf and turf. And I would love to experience it. Dylan, who I keep referencing, says like surf and turf's essentially like for trash who think they're eating fancy, because it's like you don't. He's like you don't need both. He's a stuck up snob when it comes to. He's like Shea Fondelay, but way meaner.
I see, yeah.
Shea Fondle Nay.
Yes.
Patreon.com/watercooler.
Patreon.com/watercooler is right.
But so I would love to experience it. But I mean, lasagna is. I mean, you can't go wrong with a nice, delicious carby meal like that. It's just mush and marinara. I don't know if I'm in.
There you go.
But couldn't we agree that a food that's just so out of reach for you could be such a spectacular meal? Like the fact that you've never had it, does that add value to its greatness in terms of its competition?
Well, Matt, because of the way you phrased that, I have to interrupt here and ask, isn't that far out of reach? You know you could go get surf and turf
Yeah, you
right
totally
after this.
could, man.
Oh, no, I know. It's
Do it.
It's more one of those like
You don't feel you're good enough for it? Is
like
it self-esteem?
It took me a really long time to watch Breaking Bad.
Sure.
You know,
okay,
I just let stuff be there. You know,
Yeah, and then one day...
break glass in case of emergency, in case I really need like an uplift. I'll go get myself some surf and turf someday.
Listen, the end of the year is upon us, man. This could be the time. Start your new year right.
I also am not a huge seafood guy in general. So that, from what I understand, is half of surf and turf.
Yep.
So
Typically, that's true.
but I do love steak, which if I have this correct, is the other half.
Well,
Gary
can I
has a
introduce you
solution.
to this idea? Turf and turf. Now, I have done this before, and it's delightful.
That would be my second. And I almost did it again. The mic is right in my sight line of where I put my claw.
Put the claw far over there.
It's good.
Speaking of,
I like the idea of that.
So we call it the claw because it's like the claw.
The second time I go, I'll probably do turf and turf. The first time, for the experience, I would get surf and turf.
Fair enough. All right.
now hold on.
Go
One more
ahead.
sub question
Please.
before we move on here. Generally speaking, the surf and turf, the most common seafood is going to be lobster.
I would say that's
However,
correct.
you can also get it with shrimp. I think people would find that to be acceptable too in a lot of restaurants. A prawn, if you will.
So let me ask you this question,
You
Matt.
calling me a prawn in their game?
Oh, count it.
You calling me an idiot?
No, sir.
I think I would still do lobster again because to me that's like traditional. I'm fucking Scarface
Yes.
getting
Great answer.
Surf
That's
and
all I
turf.
wanted to know.
Now, I went out for dinner this past weekend, and although I did not have them come at the same time, I would argue that I ate surf and turf because I had a crab cake followed by steak.
Well done.
Would that be if I had them deliver the crab cake next to the steak? Would you call that surf and turf?
Absolutely. When it comes to surf and turf, I am very liberal. In fact, I'm willing for you to do lobster and chicken. I would say you've had surf and turf.
Sure.
I'd be
A lot of
willing.
people get upset about that.
He's so liberal, you could have a female lobster that calls itself a male lobster.
How about that?
Yeah.
What about those blue
That was
lobsters?
forced, but there's something
it's
with you
that.
being liberal with the
good.
surf and turf.
It was good. You workshopped it in the moment. Given a little time, I'm sure you could have punched it up. All right. Any more on the surf and turf? I got nothing but time. I don't want to.
How do you feel about drawn butter? You ever had just food dipped in butter before?
I guess I don't know if technically, but I'm really pro butter.
Okay. Because one of the things, like one of the best parts of the surf part of the surf and turf is dipping it into butter. You don't typically take a lot of food and dip it into butter. So just think about that next time you see it on the menu.
That's a
pretty-
great sell.
Pretty special experience.
The problem is, most of the foods that I like that I consider really good don't need to be dipped in butter. I understand that it elevates and it makes the
Yeah,
lobster better, but
But you hear what I'm saying, Gary? You dip it in butter. I don't know if you heard me correctly.
I feel like this is a battle I'm not going to win, so we'll just move on. All right. Nick Davis says, "How do I become you?" Well, that's something.
I feel like just stay on the path you're on, buddy.
Fair enough. All right, Chris.
We're in quite the paradox right now.
This is just another level of the Metaverse.
Oh my goodness. Christoph Riverol. Sorry, Christoph. I'm not. Oh yeah. He says Pepsi or Coke.
Coca-Cola all day, every day. It's probably my biggest vice, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I get Postmates, I'll get like two 20-ounce Cokes and like take them down. It's
Really? One for dinner, one for dessert?
yeah. After that 10-minute break, I'm like, oh, I'm done. And then I smoke, and I'm like, I'm not done.
We've only just begun.
Then I go to bed sad.
All right, last one. Last one is from Nick Sabtura. Says, talk about Tcpw Podcast.
It's a great podcast that I worked on from. I'm actually not the producer of This Past Weekend anymore. Handed it off in the beginning of September because doing 2 shows, King and the Sting, on This Past Weekend are too much, including what I'm trying to do with Pat and Dylan at another podcast network. So I groomed my replacement and.
Ugh.
Huh?
Don't say groom. You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
say that. It's 2021.
Well, I'm trying to explain that it was a minor that when it was of age, I was going to have sex with.
Oh, God.
I was grooming my replacement. No, I'm just kidding. I was teaching someone how to produce This Past Weekend, and has since been handed off. But great show, some great guests recently.
He's been getting a lot of like high profile political guests and stuff.
Well, Robert Kennedy.
That's what I was referring to.
Yeah, Robert Kennedy Jr. That was the second time he was on. We did it at the beginning of the pandemic, and like he's like a big. He would not consider himself "quote unquote" an anti-vaxxer. He's like pro safe vaccines and stuff. But his like obviously right now, vaccines are the biggest thing in the news, and he did a book on Fauci that was like the #1 bestseller and stuff. So they had them back on. But he'll kind of go in front of, like, he would talk to Adam, no doubt. Like, he'll go anywhere with a microphone to get his message out at the moment. But show's great.
Nice.
Show's great.
All right, Colin Jacek says, just want to say dogs are great. They've always helped me through the tough times. A dog that's raised well can provide constant comfort for an entire family. My 8-year-old daughter has gone through crap in the last few years that kids should not have to go through. Wallace always has her back, and she always has his. They spend hours every day glued to each other. Curious, which of the boys grew up with dogs, and how is Dawson's pack doing? Haven't heard any pup stories recently. Here's our guy now, and 8 months ago. And I don't have the picture to show you guys.
That's all right.
So there you go. Here, I'll answer for the people that are not here. Dawson's pack is doing well, but Boo is getting older, and he's cognizant of that. And I believe that he is currently in the process. He showed me a picture at the Brea Improv of a new dog. I don't know if he had already adopted it and just was yet to get it. He was talking about it as though it was his dog. So I assume it's a done deal, but I don't know for sure. I did grow up with dogs starting at about age 10 when my parents bought one, named it the name I was supposed to be if I was a girl, and then it was my dog.
Wow. What are the odds of that coming up twice?
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing.
Pretty slim.
I was thinking the same thing.
So I did not grow up with a dog. I grew up with cats. And the first dog I ever lived with is my dog now, Taco, which is my wife's dog.
And also a cat.
And also pretty much a cat. And, yeah, it's amazing. So
Yeah.
I love dogs, and I know that I will have dogs for the rest of my life.
Nick?
Yep, got a dog when I was 5. Had him from 5 to 19. Cody, his West Highland Terrier. He was my homie. It's like my ride or die. I miss him. He was
I
the
bet.
best.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really hard to lose an animal for sure. It's just kind of the worst. As for me, yeah, we had dogs pretty much, save for a few month break in between, but we've all pretty much had dogs since I was 10, at least at my parents' house, and then I've desperately wanted my own for quite a while, and I've been told that my son needs to be old enough to understand not pulling a tail, and that's reasonable. I can't really argue with that. But that day's coming quickly,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna get a goddamn dog.
You should start testing it. Like, leave fake tails around the house and then make sure that your wife isn't nearby and be like,
Yeah.
hey, don't you want to pull that? And then when he does it, you can go look at her and go, you see that?
Yeah,
He's fine.
yeah.
Or get him now, even when he'll pull the tail, and it'll be chill. Everything will work out.
I'll have you guys call my wife. My wife.
I feel like I did, though, have him from, like, getting him at 5. My dog was like, it was a good time to get him, because then, like, you remember it the whole time from the beginning. But I do think really tight, like toddlers with their buddy dogs is really cute, though, too. So.
I think it is, but I think that those are situations where the dog is already a member of the family, and then this new tiny thing comes in, and a bond is sort of developed. Mm-hmm. We didn't really have that scenario. So, yeah, dogs are awesome, and I'm so glad that he has helped your daughter get through all that crap. This has been a rough little time we've been going through. Jake Zerby says, Doss, I've taken note of your warning about California lettuce potentially having shit on it. But rather than washing all my lettuce, I've started sniffing it before making a salad. Sniff your lettuce, save some time.
That's good.
Jake Zerby, he's a fucking trailblazer.
Yeah. Got a password to Dawson. Let him know about that.
What do you think about washing off produce, Nick? You got the fruit spray at home?
God, no.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like you would just know that about me. You guys,
Yeah, I
like
do.
you
It's
would
been
guess I'm not a big fruit washing off guy. But also, I've heard. I don't know. I just heard something recently. Most of it doesn't, or something.
They did a study that found that basically water is exactly as effective as any fruit spray, any vegetable spray that you would specifically buy. At least that was what I read.
Right on.
But
Do you use water, though?
yeah, throw a rinse on it.
Little rinse.
Yeah,
No, throw a little
why
sniff
not?
on there, too.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, actually, here's the
smells like
answer.
shit.
I don't buy produce.
I was going to ask that. I didn't want to be condescending.
Yeah, I don't either.
If I buy, and then I won't rinse it off, so I do get vegetables because I usually eat out, order out, but now I'll buy like those packs of like mixed vegetables, essentially like so you could make like your own tray or whatever, and then I will eat those, and I guess I should wash that off too. I guess
Yeah,
Just
in a
rinse
tray.
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
The ranch that I dip it in, wash it.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. We learned on a recent episode that ranch is referred to as fat people ketchup.
It's keto, so joke's on them, motherfuckers.
Oh, that's good.
gonna have to ask Vinny if Hidden Valley Ranch is keto.
I'm sure Hidden Valley isn't like because they like pump their shit up, but like ranch in its purest form.
I would argue that's Hidden Valley Ranch.
Straight out of the udder.
I feel what you're saying,
I'm
but
kidding. I'm making jokes. Jerome Frepper shared a link, and he says, I was literally listening to Dawson say Mexican pizza as I saw this. Let's be real, Taco Bell does not release new menu items. They just drop new configurations every month. The Taco Bell is apparently bringing back the Mexican pizza that Dawson was insisting upon as though it's the staple of Taco Bell, and I don't think anyone else in the room had ever heard of the product he was discussing.
I'm aware of that. I know
I wasn't.
pizza.
I was lost.
man, I know someone else who was upset by it. This wasn't like when I was here. This was a recent thing that he was just bemoaning the loss of.
Even in the last 2 episodes, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I've definitely heard someone else like really talk highly of the Mexican pizza.
Yeah.
And so that's 2 people I respect. So I'm gonna have to give credit where credit's due and get it the second
I'll
it
give
comes
it a
out.
try.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks like it's coming back next month. But what do you think about their assertion there at the end that Taco Bell, and I would argue other fast food restaurants as well, just drop new configurations of the same menu that take items away for a while to like build fondness and then bring it back so they get some fanfare? The McRib comes to mind.
Absolutely. I mean, it kind of goes back to the Jim Gaffigan joke, like Taco Bell, it's delicious, but it is all the same.
Yeah.
What's a tostada? It's a tortilla with meat, cheese, or vegetables. What's a Crunchwrap Supreme? A tortilla with meat, cheese, or vegetables.
Yeah.
What's a listen, lady? It's all the same.
That was good. Yes. So, and the one that's really bummed me out lately has been The Habit. They've taken a few things off of their menu lately that were like, or brought them on as seasonal items and then taken them away.
Here's where I think it all comes down to, and Nick, this may be after your time. I apologize. The Disney Vault. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Back in the day when we were growing up, they had pretty much any Disney movie available on VHS, and I know this because I had a little sister, and we watched a lot of Disney movies.
Sure.
And then at a certain point, they started this bullshit about the Disney Vault, and they said, we are going to have Sleeping Beauty available for the next 2 months. After that, it's going into the vault, never to be seen again. And that's where all of this stems from, because the sales for Sleeping Beauty went through the fucking roof, and then a year later, they're like, hey, Sleeping Beauty, now on DVD. Where's the vault?
Yeah, the vault was a play, man.
It was a play, and I think Taco Bell and all these other places saw that and went, okay, we know it's supply and demand. We understand that to a certain level. We'll just tell people they can only get it for a limited time, and then when it's available, people are going to buy 5 times as many as they would if it was just available all year round.
So you're saying that Mickey Mouse invented streetwear drops?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
I mean, if you take it out to its logical conclusion, that's
Virgil Abloh is Mickey Mouse. Rest in peace. I love Virgil.
Damn it.
Mickey Mouse invented
No,
streetwear.
it was the fast food drops stealing. Oh, no, the Disney Vault. I do always remember the Disney Vault and like genius. They would just have one movie at a time, and everybody wanted those VHSs with the nice thick boxes.
The puffy
box.
VHS.
Oh
Puffy
yeah,
box.
they're amazing. But I lost it again.
Disney Vault. Fast
Disney
food.
Vault. It's because we get high. I thought Disney Plus.
It's referred to as a production meeting, sir.
I thought Disney Plus should have been called the Disney Vault.
Yeah,
Great
I'm sure that
idea.
was a marketing thing because I was surprised as well that they didn't use that. I don't know why.
Disney Vault.
Yeah,
That'd be
people
great.
already
Everything,
knew it.
but their Plus has become their they have ESPN Plus, Hulu
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah, that's what I meant by branding.
Oh, yeah.
I think that someone came in and said, you're going to want this to be universal across everything. And boy, are they just raping us now. Now we all have 50 subscriptions we don't necessarily need. All right, Corey Neal says, wondering if... Yes, you did. Corey Neal says, wondering if Chris got Dave Navarro and Billy Morrison to sign his guitar. I don't think so.
I don't think he did.
I don't think so. That day...
They were a recent guest.
Yeah, I actually saw that question, and I was wondering too, and that's sad that he didn't.
Well, it was. I can tell you why he didn't. I don't think. I think it was because that was.
He doesn't
a very,
respect them as artists.
No, that was a day last week where the following day we were going to Brea to do 2 live shows. So Chris had to do 2 ACSs back to back, and he had, bringing this back around, the people who he was with when his car got broken into happened to be in LA, so they came over to visit, and they were all sitting in the back hanging out with us. And then when Dave Navarro got here, that guy's a musician, so he started talking to him and engaging with him. So Chris didn't really have a lot of opportunity to talk with Dave. That it wouldn't have been like, hold on, let me interrupt this conversation to ask for this favor. Like, it just wasn't going to really work. But,
it reminds me of the time that Norm Macdonald was here when I still worked here. I had his book, and I wanted to get it signed from him. But like on the day that was here, it was like D-Day here. They were putting up the new set. The 3D people were here. I think there were like fans. I think there were like fans visiting. So like he came in, there was all this commotion, like things to look at and stuff. So I just didn't have the opportunity. I did get a joke in. I said, "You look like Adam Egget," and he was like, "Oh yeah."
You just gave me PTSD. I had forgotten about the fucking 3D like virtual bullshit. Oh my god.
360, right?
360. Yeah, we were supposed to. Everyone was going to listen to podcasts with VR goggles on.
Yeah, I mean they were ahead of their time a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
People are going to be in the room. We did that a little bit for a Patreon on King of the Sting. We had a 360 camera in there, and best suited for. But now they're easy. They've just got those like things that are similar to like a GoPro, but it's a 360. It's a 360 camera.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like it looks like a little like I've seen ones that look like little balls, like a little bit bigger than a baseball.
The one that we it's the something. Obviously 360. It has an Insta 360, but it looks like almost like a Nokia phone, and then it has like a bulbous thing on both sides, and
I've seen like pictures like that on Facebook. People post like 360 photos and stuff. All right, I get it. I'm on board.
The positive that came out of it for me with the 360 stuff, I met two guys that I'm still like semi in touch with. I haven't talked to him for a while, but Jonas, who would be back there, and was it Hank?
Yes.
Hank. Hank was the man. I went and saw his movie premiere. He did like an independent film where he was the cinematographer or the DP or whatever. That guy's great. I like those guys.
DP usually means something else on this show. Spencer Smith says, who remembers when Walmart wouldn't sell non-edited CDs and now this? And he showed an ad that Walmart was serving him where they had panties and I'm sure they would say back massager, but clearly a vibrator.
I mean, yeah, our America's going into the shithole. If no one has any values, I agree, sir.
Well, that is a very Wisconsin answer right there.
Every show on Netflix is trans teens fucking. It's
Speaking of Wisconsin and trying to get as far away from that as common as possible.
Yeah.
What's your family doing for Christmas?
I'm going back home, and my sister just built. In the beginning of November, she didn't build it. Her husband built it. For a living, my brother-in-law builds custom homes. And
your sister cleans out people's buttholes, right?
Different sister.
Oh.
But that was a true statement.
Need a little bit more information here.
Well, we talked about it on this show before. She's like a colonoscopy tech.
Oh, that's right.
Not colonoscopy tech.
Whatever. She cleans out butts.
There's a huge difference actually because she's an entrepreneur with no real licensing or certification.
She's a freelance butt cleaner.
A butcherpreneur.
Yeah, she It's colonoscopies are when they stick the camera up to see if you have cancer.
Correct. Colonics.
She is in colonics, which is sticking a tube up to wash it out.
Yeah.
When she came and visited one time, Adam had her on the show. It was actually a really, really fun segment. She was super funny on it.
Yeah.
Like I was all nervous, but she was really funny. And then at the end, and this is a joke I've used since, although I did think of it in the moment, like the only thing I said on it at the end of the thing, he was like, Nick, you haven't done it, have you? You can't have your sister do that to you. And I was like, I'm exit only. Brought the house down, interview over. The Davis is crushed.
The claw. That's why we call it the claw.
But no, so this is my other sister, my older sister. Natalie is the colonics. Move colonics in Minneapolis. If you want to go get. She got a couple people from the Adam Carolla show that actually went. This was like 4 years ago.
Come on, Watercooler fans, let's do this.
Get your butt cleaned out by my sister. Move colonics.
So, what about the sister whose husband builds custom homes?
Custom homes
For your butthole. Sorry, I'm just trying to drive the conversation.
It's quite the web we weaved, isn't it? No, so since they've been married, she's kind of been in her head designing her dream home and stuff. But then they had this whole thing because there's not a lot of lots in La Crosse. Like it was going to have to be a little bit away, but they wanted to wait till their kids were old enough to drive, so they didn't have to drive them into town all the time. That time has essentially come, and they just finished building their dream home that they've been building for 2 years. And we had Thanksgiving there, and they had literally been there like 3 weeks, and then we're going back there for Christmas and stuff, and it's awesome. It's so beautiful.
Great.
Is there
Finished
a
basement?
secret bookcase passageway?
They have one. That was literally the first thing I asked.
What's their dream home? I have several other follow-ups.
Okay. My sister is much more practical than you and I, but that was my first question. Is there any secret passageways?
Yeah.
There's one. It's really like just a closet. It's like a closet that's fucking doors on both sides. It's
like a safe room?
Yeah. No. It's just
Dead space that has been turned into a room.
From what we're thinking, and I love the house. Beautiful house.
Yeah.
That one's shit.
How about a water slide? Is there a water slide?
No water slide.
All right, what are we doing?
When I was in 7th grade, we had this project where we built our dream homes, and it had to be like like the whole assignment was like it had to be like to scale geometrically, and then you could put whatever you wanted in it. And I had the stuff you were talking about.
Yeah.
I had a basketball court, which is like I would love to accomplish this one day, but a basketball court that was glass floor that retracted with a pool underneath.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I don't know if this is too much, but if there's fish underneath there as you're playing basketball, and then you can swim under there.
Can we strap
Dolphin tank.
Can we strap some laser pointers to their heads so we get a light show going? Just saying. Now, when I was in probably 6th grade, I got invited over to a kid's house. One of my classmates to play basketball. This kid had a basketball half court in his backyard.
How do I get a claw? I really want to hear this, but I
just go and I'll tell the story slowly. It's fine. Don't worry about it. So this was a kid I did not know very well. This is after my parents had moved to to a new neighborhood. So I knew that this kid's family had a little bit of money. And he told me he had this basketball half court in his backyard, and if I wanted to come over. And so, I was trying to make new friends, and guy's got a basketball hoop in the backyard, and that's pretty cool. So I went over, and I'm really trying to drag this story out because I'm about to get to the meat of it if I keep telling the story. So if you got anything you want to talk about right now. There we go.
Continue.
All right. So this kid invites me over, and we play basketball for a while, and then at a certain point, he's like, well, let's go inside and we'll play video games or whatever. This kid takes me into his house, takes me up to his bedroom, and very nonchalantly reaches onto the 3rd shelf and pulls a book down, and this bookcase pops open, and he had a secret hidden room.
Damn.
I flipped out, and he was like, "What are you talking about?" To him, it was so far beyond him. Yeah.
The closest thing I can think of is I had a friend whose dad had a pinball machine. And that was mind-blowing.
That's
to
pretty
have
cool.
a secret door, though, to actually have that.
Well,
with
how
a
about
bookcase and the door? Oh, my God.
How about this? This kid had a twin brother, and the brother's room had a similar bookcase, and that was their shared space, their little hideout that they had where they could both go in there and close their bookcases and have their space together. And it was super cool.
That's the dream.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
You found the claw's only weakness. Sub-zero temperatures!
Are we classic movie?
We have fun.
Are we off Facebook comments, or is that still a Facebook comment?
This is still Facebook comments.
I had something related to Facebook groups. This is a developing thing that I haven't said on our own podcast, but will be a continuing theme. So, to promote the podcast that I have related to the reality TV shows, The Bachelor and Below Deck, I'm in a million Facebook groups.
Sure.
That's when I discovered the power of the Facebook group. There's Bachelor dedicated ones that was 30,000 people, super active, and across different communities. It's either podcasts about the show or just specific ones that there's fights between them. One Bachelor one doesn't like the other Bachelor one because it's more liberal and conservative. It's crazy. The network. It's the metaverse that was already there before. It's
Metaverse.
That's a different thing.
Oh, okay.
That's his twist on it.
Sorry, I'm trying to follow along. It's confusing.
But there's one other podcast that does very well. Most of the Bachelor podcasts that are higher ranked than us are all former contestants that start podcasts, and
You're the highest rating non-contestant Bachelor hosts.
Until 2 black girls, 1 rose.
Oh no!
So they are they can be pretty cutting and funny and stuff, but they're definitely, I would consider them a little bit more woke than us. Nonetheless, I'm in their Facebook group and I mix it up. I'm making jokes, I'm making posts, because you can't just promote in these communities. You got to be like embed yourself.
Stir the pot a little.
No, you're like real part of it. Like I'm participating in the conversation and dare I say pushing the conversation forward.
Yes, people are like, wow, that poster has really taken this conversation to the next level. I want to click on that guy's profile. I want to see what else this guy does. Boom, you got him.
And even a little bit more aggressive that if you're firmly embedded, then you can, this is our episode or whatever. I haven't done that in 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose yet.
Be real careful when you do that.
Yeah. You got to be a real member. That's what I'm saying. You're picking up when I'm laying down. And so besides that, they have some just hilarious posts in there of people, their problems with The Bachelor for whatever reason. Like, it was a huge issue that all 4 moms in the hometowns of this year were biracial. And that was an example of colorism in The Bachelor. And they'll post these long soliloquies of I don't know if soliloquy is written, but of like their issues with it, and they're like very verbose and they just kind of want to sound smart. And I've taken this as a segment on our Another Bachelor podcast where I'll just bust out and I'll memorize one of them, and just in the middle of our episode, I'll give my thoughts and I'll just recite one of these comments, and then there's just stunned silence from Pat and Dylan. Or initially there was. Now they're
starting to get it now.
Yeah. Now they're like, "Is this Nick steals a comment from the 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose Facebook group?" Yeah,
that's a great bit.
It's become wildly popular. But just yesterday, in the 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose Facebook group, I opened up Facebook in the morning. First post I see. Did you guys know that Another Bachelor podcast is stealing comments from this thing? Like a 50-comment thread of like...
Oh, you got busted.
Yeah, but she's completely misrepresented. It was Tamika Phillips, she's not even a moderator, but I do see her name all the time in the group. She's always stirring shit up. But she said like, they've always had a problem with 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose, and which is not true. Like, I respect what they're doing. Even we try to use their business model. Their Patreon is fucking killing it. But so then I'm reading, and there were like 13 reactions to the post on like Facebook, and it was all like the shocked one. 13, which is... Statistically, that's crazy.
A lot of people getting shocked.
So just a little troll, I also shocked it. And then there's all this comments, should we kick the person out, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to lay low, but I couldn't resist. Also shock reacting. 3 hours later, I'm kicked out of the Facebook group. Come on. They somehow discovered it.
The second shocked reaction sort of was you asking for it, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I
mean, it's super funny, and I would have done the same shit, but...
I also I kind of thought maybe if I didn't say anything, I could lay low and stay in the group. But I should have actually put in the comments, like...
Stood up for yourself.
Yeah, it's all respect. This is a funny bit. I'm not using people's names who actually said the comments or whatever. But, so I want to borrow the Watercooler listeners. I can't use my listeners because they can't see if they're in the same Facebook groups. They can't see that you're in the Another Bachelor Podcast Facebook group. But I would like one of your listeners, you can reach out however, DM, to join the 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose Facebook groups, because we have to keep Nick steals a comment from the 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose Facebook group.
I don't like this at all. The 2 Black Girls, 1 Rose, just know that the Watercooler has no beef with you.
Yeah, this is on the low. But yeah, essentially I need a mole so I can continue to steal their comments.
All right. We have a few more comments.
Thank you for allowing me that.
Is that okay?
I didn't even plan to bring it up.
It's all good, man.
I love Facebook groups.
Matt, they're great.
We got a little time to run a little over. I don't want to miss your thing. But
we're good, baby.
Cool. We just got a few more comments here. Matt Fondelier says...
the holidays, man.
Matt Fondelier says, we just got a care package delivered to our studio. A very confused delivery guy asked, anybody here named Bobo Boy? Which is a real interaction we had last week where a UPS driver came in and he was like, Bobo Boy guy? We're like, yeah, that's us.
You all started barking at him?
I thought about it, bud.
It was, my mom sent us reindeer-themed beers.
Nice.
We'll drink them on Patreon tomorrow. or not. I don't know.
Yeah, we should. We got to put this in the fridge.
Yeah, we got to put them in the fridge.
Who's going to be here for Patreon?
Great question.
Theoretically, Dawson and Kaylin will both be here, and then Chris will maybe zoom in for a minute. Full disclosure, Chris was going to call in or zoom in at the top, and I forgot to tell him when we were starting, and then he texted me about 25 minutes ago, and I said, call in right now. We're in the middle of comments. And he was like, no, I'll catch you next time. So we miss you, Chris. We love you. Let's see here. Gage Hamilton. Okay, I got to give credit where credit's due, but this is fucking a little bit crazy. So you know that as part of our Patreon, one of our new ideas was movie night. Once a month, we'll watch a movie. We'll record just our audio, not the audio of the movie, and then you can listen to it. And
while you're watching,
and watch along if you want. A lot of people, as it turns out, just listen to it like a podcast and don't even turn the movie on, which I guess is interesting because we don't necessarily. It's not a shot for shot reaction or anything.
And if you know the movie, it's pretty easy.
Exactly.
Probably.
Well, we also had a segment on this show called No or No. And that was the difference between the answer to a question and having information. Do you know or no? Right? Well, then we discovered that there's a Biktarvy ad that is talking about how your diabetes makes everything feel like a no until you know about Biktarvy. So Matt and I saw that about 2 weeks ago on TV, freaked out, downloaded the thing, and we played it on Watercooler. Well, some listener then commented underneath his post from August 8th of this year where he had submitted the exact same fucking commercial and we completely not seen it or ignored it or whatever. And he just basically bumped it up and was like, what the fuck, man? I sent this in a while ago. Now, where worlds are going to collide here is our most recent movie night, Dawson Picks Step Brothers. This guy's thing from August 8th that he bumped up, he was watching Step Brothers, and he saw the Biktarvy ad. What are the chances of that?
That's wild.
I just wanted to see how Nick was going to react to all that. This was confusing fucking story ever told.
I was going to say, is this how you guys felt when I was telling you the 2 black girls, 1 rose drama?
I gotta tell you,
exactly how I felt.
As someone who just listened to both of those stories, my world is drowning.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, that 2 black girls, 1 rose thing came around.
I'm going to tell you, Nick, I don't know.
We'll let the Facebook commenters decide.
Yeah. Joe Urbanek says, while my daughters made gingerbread houses, I contributed with a Mr. Hanky. My 6 and 8-year-old daughters are very well versed with the Mr. Hanky song. It's included in any Christmas music playlist I make for them, and we're driving around looking at Christmas lights or decorating or whatever. A family favorite.
I second that. The Mr. Hanky Christmas song is also on my family's Christmas mix, and several years ago, I got my mom a Mr. Hanky Christmas ornament that hangs proudly in their Christmas tree.
That's pretty awesome.
Yep.
I love South Park.
So do I.
Grew up on South Park. One time in grade school, I faked sick, and I stayed home and watched all the VHS recorded South Parks I have, and I memorized the songs from all of them. Mr. Hanky Christmas. I mean, that one's easy. That one's easy.
You've seen 6 Days Out, right?
Actually, shocking.
You need to go home and watch that tonight.
I'm going to get some surf and turf, and I'm going to watch 6 Days Out.
That's a
great night. I wish I was doing that.
I would love to do that. That sounds freaking awesome.
That's why you keep stuff in the holster, fellas.
Yeah. 6 Days Out. Anyone who likes South Park who hasn't seen 6 Days Out, go find it. I believe it's probably on the FX app or something.
It's got between Hulu, Paramount, HBO, and YouTube. You can find it.
It's definitely going to be on Paramount now. They pay those guys like $500 million or something crazy.
900.
900. Jeez.
500 each. Wow. All right. Let's see here. Mike Salvia, and we're almost done. Florida does not have a panhandle. Oklahoma has a panhandle because it's shaped like a pan. Florida has a taint. I mean, can't argue with that.
Can't argue with that.
It was very. I saw this one too. I love your Facebook group, guys.
Yeah,
but I've always heard it referred to as the Florida Panhandle, and if you're just, I get it. There's no pan,
right?
But it's still the handle.
Yeah.
Taint's good too.
Absolutely. All right, last one. Tim Blankenship says, firing Blankman Smith 69 here. So I just re-listened to the entire Watercooler catalog, including all of the Patreon episodes. I loved it, and now I feel empty.
Thanks for listening to all that. That's
amazing.
amazing.
That's pretty awesome. That means you're
familiar with Nick.
You've got to be stoked to have Nick back.
Yeah, if you want to just send me time codes of some of my greatest hits, that'd be cool. If you want to give it one more run through.
How many episodes
if you decide
were you
to
on?
start over?
Not quite 100, I think 90 maybe.
That's amazing.
I just realized that we're very close to 400 episodes if you add them all together.
You mean 69 plus 69?
Yeah, whatever. I don't have time for that bit right
Do
now.
it. Do
It's
it.
a good bit, but not right now. All right. Well, that was comments. We withhold outros on the free show, so the outros are only for the Patreon. Outros and Kalen, we withhold. So
Smart.
I have an outro, but I will not be playing it right now. So that was the end of comments.
It's great though.
It's really
If
good.
you hear the outro.
Maybe I'll have to sign up.
Yeah. we don't give past co-hosts free access to that. So
I love to support other creators.
Now, here's the
Yeah.
thing, Nick. It is the holiday season. Maybe someone you know and someone who loves you will buy you a subscription to the Watercooler, because we encourage all of our listeners to buy a subscription for somebody and give it to them as a Christmas gift and film their reaction.
we've had several fans do that to their small children, and the results have been hilarious.
This year, too. I remember seeing a couple last year.
Yeah, we have not
Well,
gotten
we haven't
submissions
gotten to
this year, but
Christmas
it's
yet,
not Christmas yet.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That makes a ton of sense.
A few more shopping days left, people.
I want to steal your bit. I'm Barstool.
Well, admitting it is the first fucking step.
We have encouraged people to. That's why I hate listening to stuff, because then I'm like, oh, can't do that, can't do
Yeah.
that or whatever. But you still can, because everybody's got their own take on it. But like, bums me out when that's genius, because we have told people to buy people subscriptions, but to get it for a child, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yep, it's
Good
pretty good.
time. Or a girlfriend. We've had several adults get it for their girlfriends and film their reactions. And then like trying to be cool with it. Like this one girl's like, "Oh yeah, awesome. You know I'm not listen though." He was just like, "Yeah, I know."
You can watch.
All right, so why don't we get into it? I think we just have the Chez Fondolay left, right? You
Let's
good
do
to
it.
go? Let's do it.
Yeah. Oh no!
What type of foods might we hear of today? What might be the price? What might be the venue? So let's find out. It's time for Gary to say, hey, Matt.
What's on the menu?
Well, it is the holiday season. I had a very Christmassy weekend this past weekend, and part of that experience included baking Christmas cookies.
Ooh.
Nice.
Now, my wife has had an obsession with these German cookies that look like little stars with white frosting on them. If you guys can picture what I'm painting with my words here, but they're called Zimsterne. I don't speak German. Nick, you have any German in you?
A little bit, yeah. Or actually, I think that's the majority.
I feel like Germans got the handle on the Christmas food, by the way. All the delicious treats and cookies.
The panhandle?
The panhandle, yes. Well, we decided to try to make these star cookies at home. Now, generally cooking and baking in my house involves my wife doing all the work while I frantically run around and try to find the quarter cup and the teaspoon, and she's yelling at me because I gave her the wrong one. You know, it's comical if a camera was taping it all. But in the end, we whipped up some egg whites, threw it together with hazelnut meal, which is like a just
Right in the mic there,
crunched
Gary.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
that's all right.
That's what you get here.
It's the holidays.
I did it too, but on accident.
I didn't do it on purpose. I just wasn't thinking.
Matt, I'm sorry, but if you want to push Chez Fondolay forward, you have to put those cameras in there. I mean,
That's the next step.
vlog, dude.
Yeah,
You have an internet, bro?
yeah, that's true.
People would die for that. But then I get it, because like, you don't want to throw it up on Patreon, because then you're like, all these people are signing up just for my vlogs, and what the fuck did Gary do?
Exactly. Yeah. Why are they getting it?
You can start-
4/5 of the money.
Start your own Chez Fondolay Patreon and do movie nights.
Gary's not liking where this is going. I'm a content factory, Nick.
I'm not editing and uploading it for you.
Yeah, that's true. I would need your help. Anyway, you throw in a little bit of sugar, a little bit of cinnamon. You roll it out. We had like little star shapes. Put it in the oven. You kind of paint the cookies with this egg white sugar mix. That's how you get the white frosting. But
It's one way.
not the wholesome family segment. You son of a bitch.
You think I didn't think that?
I sat on the bukkake joke the first time you talked about the white specks.
Well, here's the thing. These did not come out great. The all that white stuff on top, it turned yellow in the oven.
That means
Gary.
it has chlamydia.
Thanks, Nick. Thanks, that. And then I realized, wait a minute.
I've heard.
These are grain-free. This is gluten-free. This is some bullshit. We didn't use butter. Nothing. Turns out that whoever's making those German cookies back in Europe is doing a lot better job than we're doing over here. And in the end, they kind of turned out like granola bars. That would probably be the best way to describe it. There's some I brought them in if you want to try one, Nick.
I think there you go. There's some extra content right off the bat. What?
What was it? I don't even know what that's supposed to be.
That's Kaylin not believing Chris can do a Rubik's Cube.
I made the mistake of as we brought them out of the oven, I told Julie that they kind of looked like dog biscuits, which I think hurt her feelings a little bit. I didn't mean it that way. I'm sorry.
Sup, fuckers?
Got a little too much dog.
Sorry, I hit the wrong one.
Got a little too much dog.
Listen, we can't always cook a successful meal, but we tried. We had a great time. Christmas music playing the whole time, and there you go. That was my Chez Fond du Lac food experience. Happy holidays, everybody. That's what's on the menu.
Hey!
Do you think does she think she knows what she did wrong? Or
she knows what she did wrong.
Walk right into that one, Nick. Welcome back. All right, guys. Well, I guess that's Watercooler. You want to get our plugs in and we'll get out of here?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
I just realized I don't know how to edit or post this, but we'll figure it out.
Someone's going to listen to it.
Yeah, probably.
Chris is fine. He'll help us out.
Yeah.
Feel better, Chris. We love you.
We love you, Chris.
Miss you, Chris.
Nick, where can we go for you?
Number one thing I would say is our version of the Watercooler, another podcast show. It's Pat, Dylan, and I. You guys may know Pat. You may know Dylan. You may not, but it's like this, kind of.
You guys are hilarious, and you post some amazing video content as well of just your conversations with like the little text and stuff. I've watched several of them, and it's made me laugh very hard.
Thank you. Yeah, so we've kind of fallen off on those clips, which I think it was really helped pushing it forward and stuff. But and also, like our video episodes on YouTube, I found a kid in Wisconsin who like thinks we're funny. I mean, we pay him.
One kid in Wisconsin. That's awesome.
Huh?
That thinks you're funny.
Oh yeah. But who's also a very talented and funny editor in his own right. So like on our videos, he is able to add adds jokes to like what we're saying and stuff, and it's not just listening, like watching us like sit there, which some people I do that anyways with like podcasts and stuff. Even if there's nothing extra, I watch it. But some people are like, why would you just watch people? There's extra stuff to watch. Another podcast show on all platforms.
Cool.
Great.
Matt?
You can follow me on Twitter at Matt Fondelier. You can check out patreon.com/watercooler. That would be a great gift for all of your favorite podcasters as well. We love it.
Anyone in your life. And definitely film the reaction.
Yeah. And also I'm on another show called Sword and Scale Rewind with a hilarious comedian named Ian Bagg. Thank you again to Gary for making that amazing suggestion. And those new episodes all through the break. And nothing says Christmas like a horrible murder.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, before I give my plug, just some housekeeping. This will be the last version of this show for this year. We are taking some well-deserved time off during Christmas. However,
I'll come in by myself next week if you guys want.
I'm good.
Watercooler! I'm just Claus.
It's fucking chaos. Like, the Rose Podcast.
I smelled again. There's no one to clean it up.
But for those of you who do want some Watercooler content later this week and next week, we never take a week off of the Patreon show. So for those who subscribe to Patreon, we will never miss a week, no matter if we are on vacation or whatever. We may be missing one or two guys like we are today, but we will never miss a week. So go subscribe there. And as for me, beyond the Watercooler Patreon, you can subscribe to the various places Reasonable Doubt is served, whether that's the Adam Carolla YouTube, the Reasonable Doubt YouTube, or just the audio RSS feed. We have brand new content coming out tonight or tomorrow. And then just knowing Mark, I'm sure we'll be doing Beyonds throughout the break as well, based on breaking news. So look forward to that. Nick.
Also in the new year, I want to start doing this thing. And I've had the idea for a while, but like New Year's resolution, I'm going to start it. I want to do where I interview other podcast producers one-on-one. And I hope both of you will join me.
To recommend someone?
No, be guests on the podcast.
Oh, hell yeah.
And, sure, dude. Absolutely.
And I'm just going to name it another one-on-one podcast, but start with all producers, and then once I run out, maybe I'll expand. But
is it going to be about podcast producing, or just that's the linking the guests, but we talk about whatever?
I hope the conversation about their journey into podcast production leads to a wide-ranging discussion where tangents tangents are encouraged.
I like it.
I like it too. That sounds awesome. Well, everyone, look for that in the new year, and just go subscribe to all the Another Podcast Network properties, and I'm sure they'll be talking about it when it comes time to launch. Yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome. Nick, thank you so much for joining us. Me and Matt were
thank God.
a little panicked for a moment there, and then I said, well, why don't we blow in a call to Nick? And you said yes right away, and we both
I thought you said, why don't we
just-
blow Nick? And I was like, I don't know about that. And then you said blow into a call. And then I said, okay.
I was on the toilet when you texted me.
Yeah, it was actually a text. That's true. I just used the colloquial. Anyways, thank you so much for joining us. We instantly both just kind of took a deep breath when you said yes, because we know you so well and we love you, and it's just like hanging out with friends. So thanks again for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
All right, everyone, bark at Chris as he gets better, and we'll see you tomorrow for Patreon, and we'll see you in 2022 for this show. We love you.